In this video, I'm gonna be reviewing the Max Shine 15mm long throw dual action polisher. Now let's get straight into it. What's going on? So glad you guys are here and welcome back to the Wilson Auto Detailing community. If you are a professional auto detailer who wants to become more successful and profitable in your business, or just a car enthusiast who wants to improve your detailing ability, then definitely consider hitting that big red subscribe button right below this video. So I want to say this up front in the beginning of the video. Most of you guys know on the Wilson Auto Detailing channel, I'm a huge fan of the Griot's Garage 6-inch DA that you can buy at AutoZone because of the price point and the results that you can get, specifically for the beginners out there who are getting into the paint correction world. However, recently this polisher has taken its place. So if you've recently bought the Griot's, don't worry, it's still great, but this is actually going to, in my book and on my list, actually supersede the Griot's. So if you're a beginner in the paint correction world and you're looking for an amazing polisher to get your feet wet and something that's at an amazing price point, the Max Shine M15 is definitely it. So let's talk about why. So number one, let's just talk about like the ergonomics of this thing, the kinesthetic experience, the tactile experience. If you guys ever have owned a Rupes like I do, this is actually very similar as far as like the hold of the Rupes. It's got a platypus head, so you can hold it up here with no specific handle. It does actually come with a D handle, kind of like what's on the back of the 6-inch Griot's Garage. However, I actually way prefer one of these heads as opposed to a D handle, or even like a side handle that comes with like a rotary polisher on a DeWalt, just because it's actually much easier to control a machine like this, much easier to control the pressure, the direction of the machine. And so you guys can see I'm holding this with actually one hand right now, so this is very like light as far as poundage. We're not having to like struggle to hold it up. My arm's not shaking. I could even hold it right here. It's a little bit more difficult, but of course down here, again, it kind of shows you how light this machine is. So I really love the head of this machine. I also love the handle down here where the trigger sits, just because it makes for a very easy machine to move around and control kind of what I'm doing. Secondly, you guys can see that there are some grips here. So down here, there's a rubber grip next to the trigger, which obviously makes it much easier to control. It's not going to slip out of my hand. I get sweaty when I'm doing paint correction, so that's an awesome thing. And then also up here at the platypus head, this has got some rubber gripping right here, kind of some ridges, so it makes it very easy to hold in your hand. So again, very nice touch. The backing plate that we have sitting on this, and that comes with the kit, or that comes in the bag as you order it, is a 5-inch backing plate. This is removable just like any other DA is. They also have the option to switch out for a 6-inch backing plate as well as 6-inch pads. However, for the sake of this video, we're going to stick to the 5-inch plate and the 5-inch pads. Now, as in the title of this video, I said that it has a 15mm throw. Now, what I mean by that, and for those of you who are kind of new to the paint correction world, I want to explain that basically the throw of a dual action polisher is going to be just the measurement of the oscillation of the head. So what I mean is, as this kind of orbits around the axis, to the level that it throws out, rather than just spinning, to the level that it throws out around the paint, that's going to be the throw. So for example, if you were to order a 21mm throw, which this also comes in, the throw is going to be a bit bigger. So in other words, it's going to oscillate out a little bit more. So the more throw you have on a DA polisher, the more friction is going to be created between the paint, the polish, the polishing pad, etc. And so in other words, you might do a little bit more correcting. So again, this does come with a 21mm throw. However, this one is the 15mm throw, still very, very powerful. It also comes with a 900-watt motor. So basically what that translates to with this specific DA, as I've been using it, is tons of power up here in the backing plate, on the pad, on the paint. In other words, it's not going to stall very much. So one problem that many of you guys might have had with the Griot's Garage 6-inch, if that is a polisher that you use or have used, is simply that it does tend to stall. So many of those entry-level DAs are going to stall a little bit, whereas this one, with that really, really powerful motor, compared to every other beginner paint correction dual action polisher out there, there's just virtually no stalling. So not that this doesn't have the capacity to stall, however, again, relative to the rest of those DAs that are on the market, this one is just not even close. It's not gonna stall, it's not gonna frustrate you in that area. Down here, we do have a pretty standard cord as far as like measurement is concerned. I'm gonna guess it's around 10 feet. I don't know exactly, but probably around 10 to 15 feet, maybe even right in the middle at 12. So very, very good footage as far as the cord is concerned. Also, as far as the OPM is concerned, or the orbits per minute, this is going to go anywhere from about 1800 to 4800 OPM. So again, lots of just like horsepower in this machine. I'm kind of already considering this like a workhorse in my arsenal the more I'm using it, just because of the sheer like horsepower behind this DA, and honestly, for the price that it sits at, which is anywhere between about 150 and 200, depending on the kit that you buy. If you just want to buy the buffer straight up, nothing else, you're looking at somewhere between about $160 and $170. And for those of you who know, any other entry-level DA is really sitting at the same exact price point, but in all honesty, really doesn't even come close to the quality that this buffer is made of as far as power is concerned, build is concerned, in that price point. So before we actually put this machine on the paint and kind of test the results and test the vibrations and test the power on the paint, I want to tell you guys a little bit about this company. Number one, if you buy this polisher, you actually have a lifetime guarantee. So it'll come with a little slip of paper. You can actually register this polisher online. They encourage you to do so. And it does come with a lifetime guarantee, a lifetime warranty, which in and of itself speaks to the company, if you ask me, just because when you have the confidence to give a lifetime guarantee, it does kind of tell me you're very confident in the build and the quality of your product. Secondly, the headquarters in the United States of the Max Shine company is in Madison, Wisconsin. However, they are moving to expand into bigger cities like New York City, things of that nature. And thirdly, I've been talking back and forth with a specific representative from this company in the United States, and the customer service that comes with this company and at the end of the day with this polisher is definitely fantastic. And that's something that speaks to all the products and tools, if you ask me. In the detailing world, it's so full of companies and big detailing companies that are way more interested in separating you from your money than they are in actually giving you good products. And it's something I talk about on this channel a lot. And so with the customer service, with the ability to kind of speak to this company at the drop of a hat and very quickly, it does give me a lot of assurance in their products as well. So we are going to put this polisher on the paint. I want to show you guys what it comes with. It actually comes in this specific Max Shine bag. You guys can see here it says zipper at the top. And I've got two different Max Shine pads here that we're going to be using on this paint. I am just going to be polishing one side and leaving the other side not polished. We're going to take some LEDs, look at the before and after, and just kind of see the difference. Again, you guys get a sweet bag when you buy this polisher. It's got a couple pockets on each side and actually room enough to carry probably more than one single polisher. So I'm not going to speed any of this up because I actually want you guys to see exactly what this sounds like, what it feels like when it's in live action, and just what, as much as you can see through a screen, how this operates. We're going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to start it on a slow speed setting. It goes from 1 to 6. Probably started around 1. I'm just going to spread out my polish, and then as you guys know, I'm going to work up from there. I'm going to go to power 4 after it's spread out, work in this cutting compound from Shokar. This compound I'm using is not from Max Shine, just the pad and the polisher. I'm going to work in the compound on a speed setting 4, then I'm going to go ahead and wipe it off, switch to the white finishing pad, finish with a finishing polish from Shokar on probably about the same speed setting, just kind of repeat that process a second time. But after I get done with this polishing and you guys kind of get to see it firsthand, we're going to go ahead and break down a little bit more about this polisher. What I want to emphasize as I'm just working here and even just working in this first kind of cutting compound is, as you guys could probably see, I'm holding it, yes, but I could literally hold it with one hand just like this and move it across the paint, and still the key here is I'm still in control of the polisher even with one hand. And not to mention, this is a pad on here that is very dense, right? It's a heavy cutting, so it's more kind of stronger foam, almost like that strong memory foam that you would sleep on, right? It's like very, very dense, and this is the same way. And a lot of times when you have this kind of dense of a pad, the weight is so being shifted as it oscillates and spins and rotates at the same time that you have to have a really good hold or you're gonna get those buffer hops. This is not happening at all. I wanna actually show you guys in action here. I'm just gonna use one hand and watch how I'm getting no buffer hops. I'm barely getting any vibrations whatsoever. So check this out. Again, no buffer hops. I'm moving it all over the paint. So even as I'm doing this, and I'm doing it with two hands, I'm barely even holding on to this head here because I'm just guiding it with my left hand here, barely supporting it because this thing is so well balanced, I just don't have to put any pressure or any just force into it. So we're gonna go ahead and finish up here. Okay, very honestly, the reason I'm like smiling right now is because I am very honestly blown away at the results that I'm getting here with this kind of polisher. I think what's really blowing me away is the ridiculously awesome results mixed with the price point of the polisher, how incredibly inexpensive it is and kind of entry level almost priced, and yet the kind of results. So again, I use the Max Shine M15, I use their heavy cutting foam and then their finishing foam combined with Shokar's Renew It as the finishing polish and their Power Bright as the cutting compound. Here's the results under LED. So once again, this was the side that was not polished, this was the side that is polished. So I want you guys to check out these swirls as we go. You ready? You guys see all those swirls, all those hologramming, all that crap? Here we go. Boom. Check that out. All right, here we go. Going back. Swirls. Check it out. We'll go all over. Look at all, there's just a bunch. Oh, it just looks terrible. All right, check that out. Here we go. Boom. I mean, just like insane. Here we go. I gotta keep doing this. It's just like satisfying to watch. Boom. Swirls. Terrible. Nothing. Look at this. Look at this. Guys, this is an entry-level polisher. This is a $160, $170 priced polisher. This is a beginner's polisher. I mean, what? So if it's not obvious, I am very, very seriously blown away by this polisher. Let's conclude a couple things just after doing this. Number one, you guys can't argue with these results, right? You can't argue with results. Like, that's the one thing we talk about on this channel is, does it really do what it claims it can do? You can't argue with results. 2 + 2 = 4. The swirls are almost 100% gone from this side of the paint. Absolutely ridiculous. You guys saw the dividing line. We did it under LED. Amazing. Number one, visually, I'm absolutely astounded by the results. Number two, tactilely, kinesthetically, as I'm holding it, you guys saw I did one hand. I can do two hands, but I'm just guiding it with this second hand. So number two, regarding this polisher, reviewing this polisher as far as the weight is concerned, the control you have over the machine, it's so light and you have an amazing amount of control. Number three, using these polishing pads, a lot of times, like I said, certain pads will actually, the heavier ones especially, will give you a lot of buffer hops and it's really difficult to kind of control the machine. It is amazing the kind of like control I had over the buffer the whole time I was doing it. Even with this little bit bigger pad, it's still a 5-inch pad, it goes on a 5-inch backing plate, but again, the surface area is still a little bit bigger. A lot of times the bigger pads get, the more surface area they cover, the more difficult it is to control them, and it was absolutely ridiculous just how much control I had over the DA as I was moving it around, barely having to use any pressure, any even of my own strength, of my own muscle, letting the polisher do the work for me. So not only do I suggest the polisher, but I also very much suggest the pads that came with it, which I'll hook all of that stuff up in the YouTube description box below. I'm not only gonna hook up links to buy the stuff I used here, I'll also hook up links to their social media and their website so you guys can check out other things that Max Shine offers besides just the M15 polisher. Now, something else I wanted to touch on in this video, because for those of you who are in the Wilson Auto Detailing community and have kind of been with me from the beginning, you guys know that I've been very, very careful as as to just companies that I work with and products that I take and different brand deals that I do. And this is actually the first brand deal I've ever done on the YouTube channel in over a year and a half. So coming up in the spring, it'll be 2 years on YouTube. This is the first brand deal I've ever taken, and I wanted to kind of tell you guys why. Number one, I get reached out to all the time by companies on, you know, show my product, we'll pay you this, we'll pay you that, and I've actually denied 100% of them as far as payment is concerned until this video. This is the first time I've actually ever been sponsored to make a video. I wanted to tell you guys that up front just because you guys know I'm only in it for the best products, the best tools, not here to push anything. So the reason I said that is just because if now finally a year and a half later, actually over a year and a half later, I finally do a brand deal, that's kind of me saying, hey, this is my stamp of approval on this product. This thing actually works. I actually am confident in this. I'm not trying to push something your way for any other reason. I'm actually putting a seal, a stamp of approval on this. And so very honestly, guys, again, you know that I really push the Griot's Garage 6-inch DA, and I just told you flat out, I'm literally shifting my priority list as far as DAs go and putting this above the Griot's, this as number one for any beginner or even experienced advanced detailer. The fact that I get to have this in my arsenal now is like, you know, makes me freak out. It's just so awesome. But again, I'm honest with you guys about that just because I want you to know that out of the 100% of companies that I've turned away, finally I found one that I said, yes, I'd love for you to sponsor the channel or sponsor this video at least because your products actually do what they say they're gonna do. And that honesty and integrity is something that I value on this channel. So I just wanted to let you guys in on kind of how this came to be. So again, links are in the YouTube description box below. Comes with the bag, comes with the polisher, and again, I'm gonna put links to everything I used in this video. If you guys like this video, hit the thumbs up button. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, hook up all that stuff in the YouTube comments below because I always read those and I'm sure to get back to you guys as fast as I can. If you're new to the Wilson Auto Detailing community, then definitely subscribe because I come out with videos all the time just like this one on products, tools, strategies, communication skills, business skills, and so much more, all in an effort to help the pro detailers become more successful and profitable in their businesses. And on this channel, I share the same strategies that turn my business into a full-time income with part-time hours. So if that interests you, definitely subscribe. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, keep working hard, and I'll see you guys in the next video.